Sure, yeah. What's your last name again? Yeah. I think he might have Oh, skeletal. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think we're going to be Okay. Be a little bit. Yeah. Before the test. Okay, I'm gonna do and then just sign up. I know this one works. Yeah. You just have to turn it on. Wait a minute.
Hello?
Okay.
Hey. I think we're going to get started. For those of you that just walked in, you can have 2 sandwiches and a cupcake. But just wanted to say welcome to the October meeting. Today, or October, is Pharmacy and Physical Therapy Month, so I just wanted to say happy Pharmacy and Physical Therapy Month. So I know a lot of people have come up before, but we have about 17 people that still haven't paid their dues, so it's $10. And either today after the meeting or in mailbox 191 for our treasurer's mailbox. And then this also includes the distance students, so if they could pay to the address on this slide, that would be great. And then I also forgot to mention this last meeting, so you should go to See You Involved. It's just seeyouinvolved.creighton.edu, and then sign up to be a member on Jays4Peds there as well. Just a side note, so please everyone kind of remember that. And then I just wanted to say thank you to the people who helped in all the events this week. So soccer concessions, we got $450, which is really awesome. So thank you both for all who stayed, and it was kind of fun. And then NICU tours, wanted to thank you, Dr. Christensen, and then Dr. Burst for doing that for us. And then wheelchair cleaning, we cleaned 45 or so wheelchairs, and it was really fun. So thank you all for coming and helping with that. Okay, so t-shirts. So here's our t-shirt design this year. They're $12, and I would like your money and order in by October 30th. They're just want like unisex, but they said that they were more fitting, so they're not going to be huge like men's shirts. And then I have the Google Doc there for your size, and if you could pay at mailbox 191 or any of us if you see us, that'd be great. And so distance students, if you would like a t-shirt, you should pay the shipping fee, or we can hold it at Creighton. And then, or if you want to mail your money to Dr. Anna Domina's address in the earlier slide. Okay, and then I also wanted to say thank you to all that signed up for respite care. It's almost full, but I know it's fall break, but we really need 2 people for this Thursday. It's October 15th from 5:30 to 7:30. So if you don't have anything going on, if you're not leaving until Friday or something, if you could look at it and see if you can sign up, that'd be great. In the Google Doc, it's right there. And then, so if you remember Allie from the last meeting, she was a little girl with Down syndrome. We got the daycare date set up. So it's from 2:30 to 3:30, October 30th, November 13th, and then December 4th. And then if we could, on the Google Doc, if you could try, if you're a pharmacy member, to try to pair up with the OT or PT. And then Katie is also another girl with Down syndrome who her mom's going to talk next meeting. And hopefully Katie will come so everyone can meet her too. But that's from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Friday, that November 6th, November 20th, and December 11th. Okay, and then November 6th is arts and crafts at the Children's Hospital. And so I've been talking to the volunteer guy at Children's Hospital, and he said that they would love for us to come and for an hour you just do different arts and crafts with the patients there. So we need 10 volunteers for this one in November, and then there'll be one more in December. So there's the Google Doc right there. And I'll let you know more details if the times, if you have to be there early or not, but that'll be the arts and crafts time. So that'll be really fun. And then if I could have Erin come up here. She's a lot better at explaining this than I am.
Sorry, everyone. Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a PT2 here. A lot of you have read this spiel already, but for those of you who have not, before I came to Creighton for PT school, I was working for Children's Miracle Network Hospitals as a dance marathon consultant, and I got involved in dance marathon when I was at Iowa State. I did it for 5 years, got the job with CMN, was a consultant for 3, and then came here, and Creighton did not have a dance marathon, so it's an undergrad run event that's open to all of campus, and my role is just kind of like as an advisor to help them do it, but it's an awesome event. I'm really excited that it's happening. So kind of an overview of what Dance Marathon is. It's a one-day celebration of a year-long fundraising effort. So students sign up, pledge to raise a certain amount of dollars. In Creighton's case, everyone who signs up pledges to raise $150, and then you go to the actual Dance Marathon event on November 21st. Stand on your feet for 12 hours. That's the goal. Go for 12 hours, stand for 12 hours. You don't have to know how to dance. You don't have to run a marathon. And then at the end of the day, the total amount of funds that were raised throughout the entire year are revealed. So that's like this picture up here. The best part about it is that all of the families that are treated, so all the money goes to Children's Hospital Medical Center, where you guys take NICU tours and where you're going to do arts and crafts. That's the hospital that this event will support. And a lot of the families that are treated there that benefit from the funds will be at Dance Marathon to share their stories. So sort of like you guys here at Jays4Peds meetings when families come up here with their children and share their stories. That's kind of what happens there. It's just way more interactive. The kids can hang out. It's a day where they get to be treated like rock stars. It's a really, really awesome event. There's about a little over 300 Dance Marathon events across the US and Canada at various universities. Ask any Big 12, SEC, Big 10, like any of your big conferences, pretty much every single school has it. So it's awesome that Creighton is finally starting one. So how to register, I can like go to the site. Can I go to the actual site and just look through it? So you really want to do this, trust me. It's a fantastic, incredible experience. It's the reason I'm in PT school. So it's events. Dance Marathon. So if you go to this site, this is what it looks like. And then you can find a dance marathon near you. And just search Nebraska. And there you go. So then it'll ask you to sign up. And you would register just as a dancer. That just means typical, normal participant. And it's a $15 registration fee, and that kind of covers like t-shirt and food and all that stuff for the day of. So you get a t-shirt, you have food provided for you for those 12 hours. It's programmed like crazy. So there's activities, there's music, there's dances, there's performers, the kids are there. It's something you won't get bored at. And then if you could register as an individual, but it's cooler if you join a team, and we actually have a graduate students team created right there. So you just click that and then go through the registration process to sign up for a dance marathon. And last week, the undergrads did a recruitment week on their campus, so I think a lot more people signed up. But as of last Monday, the graduate student team was the highest fundraising team that they had signed up, so keep on doing that. Awesome. And if you have any questions about anything related to dance marathon, just feel free to email me. I'm Erin Curtis1@great.edu. I just really have a 1 next to my name. But I really encourage you guys to get involved. It's an awesome event, and there should be some volunteer opportunities too if you don't want to participate. But I hope you do. Thanks.
Thanks. And then I know I'm registered for it. Kate's registered for it, and so we're all really excited for it. So if you want to be involved in that. And then, so we have two speakers today, Dr. Carolyn Romano, who's the residence director and transplant pharmacist, and then we have Dr. Guadalupe Ortiz, who's the resident. So I'll leave it to them, and then don't forget to pay your dues if you haven't, and I hope you all have a great fall break.
Well, thank you very much for that welcome. For any of you that know Carolyn or have heard her speak, I'm not Carolyn Romano. She is busy at the hospital today. I'm Robin Steck. I'm the clinical manager at the pharmacy at Children's Hospital Medical Center. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself and what I do, and then Lupe, our resident, will come up and do the same, and then we'll certainly be open for questions. I did my undergraduate and my pharmacy work at Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa. And when I graduated from Drake, I went to University of Nebraska Medical Center and did my PGY1 residency, and worked at what was back then University of Nebraska Medical Center. University Hospital is now Nebraska Medicine. Then I moved down to Houston, Texas for a while, worked at Herman Hospital. I worked as their pediatric clinical specialist. And I have been back at Children's for 15 years in various roles, and I've been recently the clinical manager. Let me back up for 1 second, just so we kind of know the audience. How many of you are pharmacy students? How many of you are physical therapy students? And I'm going to guess the rest of your occupational therapy. All right. Do you want to raise your hands here just so you don't feel that? So I probably won't go into a whole lot of detail what I do on a daily basis because it is a lot of administrative work. I supervise the clinical services in the pharmacy, so I supervise the pharmacists, the initiatives we undertake, formulary management, all sorts of crazy stuff like that. I also supervise our pharmacy students that come on rotation. I work pretty closely with the residency team. I'm also the designated research pharmacist, so for our clinical trials involved medications, I'm involved with those as well. So a lot of administrative and management work that I'd be happy to bore you with the details if you guys have specific questions. As far as interactions with PT and OT, it really kind of varies just depending on the types of patients we have, the types of questions we have. Certainly we know our patients that have a long-term stay, especially when they're in the ICU for a while, some of the medications we give them, unfortunately, are going to exacerbate their challenges, their physical and mobility challenges as they start to heal and get better. So certainly we know that some of the medications we give them are keeping you all in business. Sometimes as well as we'll work with PT, probably more so than OT, on our patients if they have like limb injuries or broken bones, things like that, and PT is really painful. We'll kind of work with the therapist to help come up with the best plan so that they can be awake during PT and not too sleepy or snowed, but still comfortable and able to participate in the activities that you guys want them to do. So that's a little bit about what I do. I'm going to let Lupe talk a little bit about her experiences, and then we'll take questions.
Okay, so like I said, my name is Lupe. Lupe is completely fine. I have a big mouthful. I'm originally from Arizona. So I went to the University of Arizona and I did my bachelor's and my master's there. And then I decided that I didn't like the sun, apparently. And so I went to Oregon for pharmacy school. So I was out there at OSU/OHSU in Portland. So I finished up my pharmacy degree there and then am now doing my residency here in Omaha through the match system. So that's a little spiel about me. On a typical day, throughout the residency, I do specific core rotations. So I'll spend so many days or so many weeks on a core rotation. So if I'm either in the ICU, in the OR, ER, things like that, and then I'll have my electives coming up pretty much after December. This is what I typically do on a daily basis. So, and that could be rounding the team. And it's really great at Children's because we have a team of all this, right? So usually when we show up to round, it's pharmacy, it's medicine, it's PT, OT, depending on the patient type and whatnot, as well as any type of social work is also there, as well as dietitians. So it just depends on the patient severity and who and what type of patients they're following as well and what their needs are. So it's really nice to kind of get that interdisciplinary feel and just bounce ideas back and forth off one another for rounds. So just really briefly, a typical day, at least right now, I'm in the NICU, or PICU, I'm sorry. So I'll get there around 6:30 to prep patients. We have brief short cardiac rounds at 7, which last about a half an hour. Then go back down, continue prepping on patients and just working on that and seeing if there's anything that we can find or anything we can do in terms of monitoring for them, particularly like with their antibiotics and whatnot. And then around 9 o'clock, we start real rounds, and depending on how many patients we have and what the census load is, I can be in rounds anywhere from like 12 to 2. So from like 9 to 2 in rounds, and then the rest of the day is finishing up and taking any like care of any stray things that need to be handled or followed up on. So that is me and what I do. I can take any questions. Is there any people? Yeah.
Do you report with PTs and OTs a lot? Or?
So I typically, my interactions with them are pretty limited on that end, just because my patients right now at least are in the ICU. So unfortunately, most of them are already intubated and sedated to a pretty high extent because their just acuity is so high. But when I was on my med-surg rotation, I did have a few opportunities to work, at least with PT, in terms of like Robin was saying, just figuring out when the best time they wanted to do their therapy and making sure that we timed our medications appropriately so that they could get the best effect in terms of their appointments, which is really nice. Yeah. And I know it's probably hard because we have a very limited number of pharmacy students. So.
Yeah, tell them a little bit about some of your other responsibilities as a resident, so your research and
yeah. Okay, so in terms of my other responsibilities, so we'll have the core rotation that I'll first go on, and then throughout the whole year, the resident is always assigned a residency project throughout that whole year. So unfortunately for me, my residency project kind of just fell in my lap. I will be traveling to Mexico with this CT surgeon and his foundation to go and do surgeries on his foundation in La Paz, Mexico, which is in Baja California. So I will be leaving, gosh, in November. So coming up here pretty soon. And I'll be spending like a week and a half with them there. And so my job for this project is to figure out how we can make the pharmacy safer there, because pretty much from my understanding right now, it's just a dispensary. So literally they just go to the pharmacy and say, I need dopamine, and there's the vial. And so there's not really much checks or counter checks on how that's being distributed right now. So that's my primary job, is to figure out how we can make it more safe and effective. So that's thing one, is the huge residency project. And then throughout the year, we'll have those rotations that you'll just continue to learn and grow on throughout the different departments. And then after that, it's like my drug info rotation, so writing up monographs and things of that nature, and then doing all that good drug info. So anybody that has questions about the hospital can always phone down and phone a friend on what we need to do or how we can do it. And then aside from that pretty much keeps my day pretty busy. I lecture here, so I will see the pharmacy students in about 2 weeks, and we will be talking about cardiology. So I have different lecture appearances or appointments that I have to do. And then throughout the daily weeks, I'll do like topic discussions with whoever I'm shadowing or whoever's precepting me that day. So it can be on anything from disease states to drug-related reactions. So I have at least like 3 topic discussions a week that I'll have to do. So there's that, and then patient case presentations throughout the rotation too. So every rotation will have a patient case presentation that I find interesting, or that I find that, you know, would just warrant a really great discussion when presented to either the pharmacy team in general, or I'll have bigger presentations to the whole like medicine staff coming up here in like the next few weeks. So a lot of presentations, a lot of talks, but it's all great to read. Yeah.
What kind of medications do you give?
So at least so I'm in the PICU right now. which is pretty similar, I would imagine. So we do a lot of pain inflammation. So you'll see a lot of like fentanyl, a lot of midazolam, a lot of pentobarbs, phenobarbs, just to keep our patients comfortable, especially while they're sedated. And then on top of that, our patients are really high prone to infection. So you'll see a lot of antibiotic monitoring. So vancomycin, glyphosate are typically used with outpatient population. So we get a lot of role in like, monitoring those patients because that's just for pharmacy. So they'll consult us and then we'll go from there in terms of recommending a great dose based on their levels and whatnot. Yeah.
How's the dosing change between like immunoglycosides and Vanco versus adult?
It changes a lot. And there's a lot of things you have to watch out for, right? Because we always like to say kids aren't little adults. And we're really much more concerned about like your kidney function, things like that. So monitoring those. And the dosing is always based on a milligram per kilogram basis. So it's always something that we like to watch out for. And our kids tend to, and Rob can speak differently to this, are just a lot more sensitive, right? And their kinetics are just way different because they're going and they're, eating and thriving. So when you put that on top of comorbid conditions of, they're ventilated and sedated or they're on an oncology ward, there's just so much different things that play into that. So in order to appropriately dose them, we monitor them more closely. So getting those levels perhaps maybe sooner than you would in an average adult. Absolutely.
Can you tell them maybe some of the things we do in pediatric pharmacy different than adults for that medication safety component?
So different from adults. So at least on like the narcotic side, is that what we're talking about?
Or just dispensing. So unit dosing, unit checks and all that.
So on our unit dose level, and I'm not sure like how much familiarity we have with that, but we'll specifically unit dose out their doses. So a lot of drawing up in syringes and things like that. In back of our IV rooms, we do a lot of double checks, especially with our narcotics, in terms of signing those out to make sure that they are for the right patient, they are the right drug. And it's always like a two pharmacist double check when we pull those medications to make sure that we're pulling the correct ones. And then when they go up to the floor, it's my understanding that nursing has their own double checks as well. So a lot of that from you.
I was just going to say that some of the differences in adults, they get 1 tablet or 2 tablets or 1 vial and 2 vials. And it's for kids, it's just a lot different. Everything is very specific. We at Children's really kind of have to be prepared to treat everyone from the 400-gram baby to the perhaps 300-pound 18-year-old. So kind of making sure we have safety checks in place and that we utilize those all the time, because a dose that could be perfectly appropriate for the 14-year-old teenager could be fatal for the 2-day-old baby. So that's kind of one of the challenges that we certainly see at Children's, is making sure that that works. And so we just have a lot of different safety checks, a lot of the way we require our physicians to order things is a little bit different than an adult hospital. And as Lupe was talking about, so for example, a lot, just the way that they dispense medications in adult hospitals, they have just the tablets up on the floor in these machines, and the nurse takes 1 or 2. But what we have to do is we have to draw up every dose for every patient, because it's unique for each patient. Trying to think of other safety things. We tend to, at a children's hospital, have less drugs on our formularies. We might not have as many drugs, but we have to have different sizes and different doses and be able to deliver different doses of all those medications. So that gets a little challenging. Adults could typically have, in an adult hospital, 1 or maybe 2 concentrations of something, fit all sizes there. We might have to have 4 or 5. So we have to, again, have those safety checks in place to make sure that we're keeping our patients safe.
You guys have bedside scanning. I'm assuming you have bedside scanning. scanning?
Yeah, some of the technology we utilize, at least within our hospital, we do bedside barcode scanning. So have any of you guys seen that in action, either as a patient or your experiences? Basically, all of our medications have a barcode on them. The patient's ID has a barcode on them. So when the nurse goes to administer it, they'll scan the patient's ID bracelet, and then they'll scan the medication to make sure there's a match that, yes, this is the right medication for the right patient at the right time, etc. We also have some other fun technology within our pharmacy. When we make our bags of parenteral nutrition for the patients, that's all on an automated compounder that measures everything by specific gravity so that it basically automates the process to decrease the chance of errors and increase the precision that those are made. We also just about a year ago implemented a system called Dosage, and what that is when we prepare the medications in the pharmacy, our technicians scan the label on the medication, scan the barcode, again, to make sure it's the right product. So if we're saying we're going to make a cefepime antibiotic, the technicians will scan the barcode before they prepare the product to make sure that that really is cefepime. It also involves, they take pictures as they're going along the process. So the pharmacists then look at the pictures on a computer screen to do the second check piece of it. And all that technology is very helpful if ever we have a concern of was something made right, was there an error, etc. You can go back and look at the photos. But it also, although there's always a human component to what we do, it kind of decreases the chance for human error in that preparation process, which obviously improves our safety.
Question for Dr.
Yeah.
What do you think has been the most rewarding thing about your residency? And what has been most surprising?
So I would have to say the most rewarding thing would be being able to sit on rounds in an interdisciplinary team and actually have my opinion taken for what it is, at least on the drug level, right? And that's been really rewarding to actually be seen as a member of a team and those opinions respected and actually implemented. On the flip side, on the more surprising side, is they're taking my recommendations. And so that holds a lot of weight, right? So, and I guess it doesn't matter what profession you're in. If you're in pharmacy, if you're a PT, you're an OT, like these are your patients now. And you're now responsible for them, not only for their well-being, but you could really affect them. So that's been a big surprise for me, I would say. Very rewarding. And I would have to say the next surprising thing would be, I didn't really think that my patients would affect me as much as they have been. So these past few weeks have been really hard for our PT staff, unfortunately, in the sense that we've lost some patients. And we've lost them in a very short amount of time. And it's patients that you meet the families and they come and sit in rounds with you and having those very, very difficult conversations that you don't ever want to have to sit into. I thought it would not affect me as much, but there's definitely been some tears on that end. And that was very surprising for me that it would affect me that much. So just, and it's peds in general, right? Nobody ever wants to see that, but it's reality. And you just take it as it goes and hope that next day will be better.
What are your plans for next year?
That's a great question. I don't know. I'm really liking Omaha right now. And hopefully if there is a position available, that would be amazing. Everybody's asking me about PGY2s because you can always do it at number 2 after this. I don't know if that's in my plans because right now it's really difficult because all of my core rotations haven't been done. So for those of you that don't know, PGY2 would just be more intensified training on top of it. But since I'm already at a pediatric institution, it would have to be such that it would be pediatric oncology, pediatric transplant, or something very, very specific. And I have yet to go on those rotations. So I have yet to know if one is really going to stick with me such that I would want to do a PG one too. So anytime I get that question, it's like, I'm open, but it's definitely peds. And Omaha's been great to me so far. Y'all have been so nice in terms of people. So, well, ask me again when I go to my first Omaha winter. I'm already getting laughed at. Peacock, yes, my peacock's already out. Scarves. And it's 60 minutes. Yeah, see, that's what I meant. But I'm sure, I've never heard minus degree weather before. But it'll be great. So we'll see.
Maybe what do you like about teachers over adults?
Oh gosh. I would have to say I like just the intricacy a lot more of peds. I feel like they're just so dynamic and there's a lot more things going on. And I think in terms of, from a pharmacy perspective, we offer, I feel, a lot more on that level. Because there's just a lot more things that I feel like we can do and take part of. And I just can't almost touch every soft spot. I think there's something about them. It's home. And I mean, you get to go to work in a place every day where everybody's happy. And, there will be days where I get to, hold the baby in rounds. And we're just, I get paid to hold this little baby and hang out for like 4 hours. That's great. And just being able to be a part of that team. And I feel like the parents really value us. So part of my other responsibility is to go and ensure that all their medications are correct when they come to us, that they've been taking at home. So sitting down and getting to talk to them about what they're taking at home and whatnot, and having them really just be so appreciative and thankful that we're checking and being that thorough. It's really like that.
I've been in peds a long time ago, so I think I would agree with what Lupe said, just kind of the intricacy and the challenges. And I feel like there's a bit of a different environment at a pediatric hospital. Just that attitude, the environments, you gotta kind of be okay with just kids and being silly sometimes and accepting that. And I think certainly the PT and OT students have to get really creative on, it's different language, it's figuring out different ways to convince them to do exercises and that sort of stuff. So I also really appreciate the teamwork. We have a great team at Children's, the multidisciplinary team just is really great and open to kind of everyone working together with the common goal of getting these children to reach their maximum potential. So I like it.
Thank you guys so much for having us. This is awesome. I know from your university, if you guys have any questions, Dr. Christensen, as well as the officers have my contact information. So feel free. Shadowing, I know it's PT, but if y'all are interested on the pharmacy side and what we do, I think that offers a big perspective. They maybe shadow a couple of nurses some days, and that's always eye-opening because we always get kind of tunnel vision into our own job, but to see how the whole process works and what other professions go through on a daily basis is sometimes really amazing. So feel free, email, call, always willing. Have a nice over.
All right. Well, thank you. Okay, there's a couple sandwiches and cupcakes up here if you want to grab another one. But other than that, our next meeting is November 16th, so hopefully we'll see you guys then.
Thank you. Oh my God, you know what? That was a good Hi.
Some people got on same.
Oh, did they?
Membership request,
Is this done then? Hi. And then are you saying